Order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up, I'd be looking for approval of the minutes for the. So moved. I have a first.
I'll second it.
First and second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Let's see, the first resolution we have up is a reclassification for one position in the county clerk's office, which would actually give us a savings of about $700 and some dollars. Mike, you want to speak on that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is something we've been thinking about for a lot of years with the change in our messenger. As you know, we had a long-term messenger retire not too terribly long ago. We had another person step in to take that role. She has decided not to come back from medical leave, so it kind of gave us an opportunity to kind of rethink that overall messenger position. The messenger is not able to do DMV clerk work. That's under state law, under civil service law. So on a day where it's going to snow a whole heck of a lot, the messenger can't go and plug into an office and help run transactions. We've always thought about upgrading this position to a full motor vehicle clerk. And at this time, with it being vacant, we're able to do that, and we're asking for your support to do that. This person, we would bring somebody that's an existing employee who's willing to do the messenger work. That person would then go out and grab our dealer work most of the time. But then when it is inclement weather, or if we're a little bit behind for some reason in the summer months especially, that person could then plug right into a computer like any other DMV clerk, run transactions on a very quick basis. So that's the purpose for the upgrade.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mike, is this a bid position where the other ones could bid this?
No.
So it's a position we put in and it's full-time, right?
Yeah, absolutely full time. Yes. Absolutely.
$26,000?
That's.
You better marry that person.
I don't know if I'll do that, but yeah, no, this is it's. I appreciate you bringing up the salary. The reason we're losing motor vehicle clerks at times is the state pays more, to be very blunt, and they can offer a 40-hour work week. We just lost an excellent employee to the state for $1 more an hour and a 40-hour work week. You know, we train them up and they go elsewhere. That's the reality of it. But we do have a good team in place. We have a great employee that's willing to do this work. It's not easy to go out on the road every day and pick up these dealer transactions. It is fun for the right personality, and thankfully we've got an employee that's willing to do that.
Yes.
Just a quick question. You said it's a savings because of like it's less hours, so the salary was exactly the same.
Yeah, it's just less hours. Because the messenger got, I think, an extra 5 hours a week, like an extra additional hour a week to do the messenger job. We won't be asking for that in this position. So that's the saving.
Okay. So we're looking for a motion to move that forward.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
All right, first and second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. Moving on to resolution appointing member to the County Board of Ethics, which would be Robert J. Nicholson.
I'll make the motion for discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, first and second discussion. Yes.
Okay.
I
Yes.
just had a quick question about it. Mr. Nicholson does a great job. He's been on it as long as I think I've been here, which is a long time. In addition to everyone else besides the county representative, is it put out there for other people to be able to participate or to be a part of this, or do we just keep re-upping it as long as people want to do it?
Right.
I would think for quality control, you want some system.
I think we simply, when the term expires, we put it before the legislature whether the existing person, they want them to continue. If you didn't want them to continue, then you put it out to the legislature to find someone who else they want to consider.
Richard?
Bill, does this fall under your department per se?
No, county attorney.
It doesn't fall under any department. It's
All right, my
created,
question-
it's a board created by local law. And the local laws requires three members. So that one has to be an employee of the county or officer of the county. Requires bipartisan. So you can change the local law, but right now the board met earlier this year on an unrelated matter. They will soon be reviewing all the financial disclosures because those forms went out. So they have work to do. So if you want to change who's in the resolution, that's up to you. But they have to meet the.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're still on.
No, I have no problem with Mr. Nicholson. I know him personally and he's a great human being. But the thing is this, how often do they meet?
It varies.
What's that
Some
mean?
years they meet 1 or 2 times. So, 10 years ago, they were meeting almost every month. Maybe not 10 years ago, several years ago, they were meeting almost every month because they had a lot of activity. This board will hear complaints from towns that do not have their own board of ethics. So if there's a complaint about a town officer and it comes to the county board of ethics, the first thing the county board does is says to the town, do you have a board of ethics? If so, your board must hear it. If not, under state law, the county board must hear that. And then it also renders advisory opinions. And they have to meet to do that.
Jim?
Yes, thank you. I guess I'd like to stress it is a bipartisan board.
The chair of the board, yes, yes, it is bipartisan.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I just want to make it clear, I'm not questioning Judge Nicholson's quality at all. He's done a great job. I feel like in this example and in many examples with our committees, it just feels like we just re-up, and there may be other people in the community who would like to participate in these venues, and there's just not an opportunity because it's just there's never an opening for them to get involved. So that was the only reason I brought it up.
Okay. All right, well, if that's it, we're looking for a motion to move this forward.
I'll make that motion.
We have a first.
Second, yeah.
First and second. Any other discussion?
I think we already had a person second.
If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have a resolution authorizing execution of deeds and titles to which were required in foreclosures. Tax years 2018 and prior. Would you like to speak on that, Kevin?
Yeah, just real briefly, these are the ones that are currently in bankruptcy, so we need to do that. Or the bottom one, there's one there that was in bankruptcy. The person opted possibly to buy it back, so we want to prove that if she comes up with the money, then we'll let her buy it back.
Okay.
So
All right, we're looking for a motion to move those properties.
I'd make a motion, we authorize that.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a first and second. Any other, Rich?
I would note that I have to check, but I believe the United Timber property should be town of Oswego, not city of Oswego. If that's the case, we'll have it amended for the floor.
Okay, so we can do that at our regular meeting, right?
Yeah, I believe it's out on 104 near Prairie Hill.
Okay. All right. All right, so we have a first, second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, resolution urging New York State to fund the purchase of electronic poll books for the County Board of Elections.
Now, this is a model resolution that several counties are passing, so it's here for your consideration also. You can add or detract anything from it if you'd like. I did note that there is one correction that needs to be made in the final resolve. We should probably replace Oswego County's representatives in the New York State Legislature with their actual names. That's our standard practice.
Okay.
If you want to do that, we'll do that.
So does somebody want to move that forward?
The change that?
Or
You
we-
can amend it, you can amend it by naming our representatives.
All right, I'll make that motion to amend it.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, first and second for the amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Now back to the original.
I don't know.
Do we have
Do you have any other questions?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Commissioner, do we have any idea what this is gonna cost us?
We have a very rough idea.
I mean, I understand it can be rough, I get that.
And we put together some numbers which we submitted to the state. Early voting costs, election day costs, we have a initial estimate of about $250,000 for the county. Some of these changes don't have to be implemented this year, and the primary we can skate through as is, but for the general election starting next year, we also had a meeting, a demonstration on Tuesday that we sent around an invitation to the legislature to attend, which was a demonstration of all the new generation of voting machines, which are quite significantly different from the ones we have now. So there are changes coming, and we respectfully request you urge this resolution because we could use some upgrades.
This resolution is dealing just with the poll books. We don't know at this point how many we're going to need. We could need 3, we could need 30, we could need more than 30. They average around $3,000 to $3,500 a piece. So it could be a substantial amount of money. The state has not even certified a poll book, electronic poll book yet. The 2 houses have not even passed the bill yet. That's what, it's passed the Senate, it's in the Assembly. They have to first pass the bill into law, pass it and then get signed into law. Then it's got to go before the state. The state has to review the vendors that are manufacturing these poll books. They have to develop a list of criteria that the vendors need to meet. And that at that point, they will certify vendor A, B, and C that we can even purchase them from. Our problem with our county is that not all our sites are Wi-Fi accessible. So it may turn out that we can use them in some sites and not in other. It may turn out that we only want to use them for early voting because we're going to have early voting right at the Board of Elections, in which case we would only need a few. So there's so many unknowns, but we are asking you to ask the state to put some money on the table for us to purchase these, however many we need. Help us, dollar-wise.
Right.
It is the future. We have to live with it. It's going forward what we have to do.
I'll make a motion to approve this. Jim, you're gonna take cut and pay like the rest. Second.
All right, first and second. Any other discussion?
Well, we're urging the state
To fund it.
Jim, I think
Right.
you're gonna say for a couple of
We're
got some
gonna
cookies
ask
we're
the
gonna
state.
Okay.
And just as a point of clarification, although the title focuses on electronic poll books, the resolution does urge the state to pay for all the costs of the reforms that they passed. However well-intentioned, still works out to be an unfunded mandate on us.
True.
I do have one more
Go ahead.
question. Now, these poll books will be programmed for the town that they sit in, or they programmed for the whole county?
They will be, they'll have a county-wide voters on them. Because if you come to our office to vote early, you could be from any town or city in Oswego County. So we have to have at our disposal, we have to be able to look you up countywide.
And make sure you don't show up again on election day.
Right.
And then that poll book is going to talk with one that's on election day that's in the town of Oswego. So that electronic book needs to know that you already voted early. You're not to vote again.
Who programs these?
The vendors.
Well, yeah, it'll be taken from the team we use now in the office, which has the whole county on it. It will be an extract, it'll be from that program onto the electronic poll books. It'll be a laptop in a poll site or a tablet, whichever one we purchase or.
It's
and-
approved.
And that's another thing that the state has to send us guidelines on is cybersecurity. So it's not just physical custody of
Chain
a
of
machine.
possession.
We have to have some guidelines on cybersecurity too for these electronic poll books that will be on a Wi-Fi network.
Do you have any idea what that's gonna cost?
No, because we
You
don't,
guys are-
there's,
You're not helping out here.
It's very frustrating to have to keep going.
in the
we
state,
don't know.
honestly, the state is just as frustrated as we are because they're scrambling as well to get all their ducks in a row, not to miss something. As I said, the law hasn't even been passed yet, so until that law is spelled out before them, they can't go forward with reviewing the poll books. I mean, they've had a peek at them. I'm not gonna say they haven't seen them. We've all seen them. But they have to
Work out
develop
the kinks.
criteria. And the cybersecurity is huge.
Well, I want to thank you for answering that, and I wasn't trying to put anybody on the spot.
No,
because,
not at all.
You know, this is an unknown, and
It is.
anything can happen, not much of it's gonna be good.
So, we're all pretty sure about that.
We do our best. We will do our best.
We are done with discussion on that. Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to have a motion to go into executive session.
So many,
All right.
Need a second? First and second?
It's to discuss Exelon and a tax property matter. Proposed or pending litigation is the vote.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. We appreciate you.